Welcome back to the Charismatic Voice and happy holidays. Today I want to celebrate one of my fellow voice nerds who I think makes extraordinary content, Lolli, the fairy voice mother. And to do that, I'm going to take a listen for the first time to one of her original songs and invite you to celebrate just a little bit of what makes Lolli so wonderful. Let's get to it. That's pretty. I want to mention a few things about Lolli off the bat that I think are really incredible. One, she does amazing analysis videos on YouTube, and she brings a lot of joy and glee and giggles. And I love that we're getting this other side of her in her music videos that has so much vulnerability and timidness. She's she's just a really whole person. So many different aspects. She's like a prism. However you look at her, she's got a new sparkle in a different way. Really wonderful jewel of a person. And I think it's amazing that while she's doing this YouTube journey, at the same time, she is releasing albums. She just released this, I think, in November of 2024. She's doing the thing at the same time. That takes a lot of work. So good job, Lolli. There was some really cool panning in headphones. I recommend listening to this in a good set of cans. Like that went. And then there's another part that's going to go back. And then fades across. So dreamy. I love that delicate holding out of let go there. That was super beautiful. I think that the phrasing of this is fascinating. Her songwriting is just awesome. Um, I especially love the way that she uses vibrato. She has a very, very fast vibrato, and it's fun. She did a cover of Lilac Wine, which I'm used to Jeff Buckley's cover of that. And I was particularly noticing that both Jeff Buckley and Lolli, Jeff Buckley, who is, in my opinion, one of the greatest singers, so amazing. Jeff Buckley and Lolli both have this similar way of using the vibrato. I don't know if I can offer a higher compliment on vibrato use. Seriously, it's so impressive. And they have a similar rate that is very fast. It has so much vulnerability that it can add to the sound. I'm going to go back. Just listen to whenever her vibrato comes in, how it gives a shimmer and an opening to the sound.
To
so smooth. Really, I love what's being shown in the music video here. I don't know who shot it, but I love the way that it captures um, so many different emotions in it, and uh, obviously the symbolic tying of the ropes and letting go with it at the same time. It's just really beautiful and touching. Shout out, shout out to team that did that. Let go. I love her run there too. The dog crept out to live in me. A wide awake, a recurring dream. When it takes hold, I feel a tight yet familiar grip. Not a blessing or a sign, but it's I love the lyrics of this part. The dark crept out to live in me, a wide awake recurring dream. When it takes hold, I feel a tight yet familiar grip, not a blessing or a sign, but it's all mine, all mine. And to me, this means there's an embracing of uh, both the bright and the dark side that all of us have in us. And I think so many people just want to deny the part that they don't like. And honestly, a lot of times that means trying to push away the dark all the time instead of embracing it as a wonderful part of who you are. But some people end up embracing the dark so much that they'll push away the happy as well. So just so you know, it can go both directions. I love even when you see this sort of young person as well, there's this message behind of learning how to embrace all of you from the very beginning. That's one of the things that I really hope to teach my son, my 2-year-old. I know. Can we teach a 2-year-old this? I hope so. When I see him struggling through all of these big emotions that are coming into life right now, I the natural parental instinct is to take that away from him, but then he doesn't get to learn how to work through it himself. I'm taking something away that's his, and I'm trying to learn as a parent and always as a person also, just learn not only how to embrace all of me, but how to model that and encourage my son to do the same thing. I think it's a really, really beautiful sentiment, and that perfectly captured this. When it takes hold, let's go back over it. Crept out to live in me. A wide awake, a recurring dream. When it takes hold, I feel it tight yet familiar grip. Not a blessing or a sign, but it's I also love Lolli is really good at working over her registers. And sometimes she'll disguise a register flip, and sometimes she'll present it as even something more. Right here, she purposefully said, here's this flip, and there's a little break that you hear in the voice. Sometimes she uses that to help with these really cool, like exotic sounding runs too. But I love the simplicity of this one. Check it out. Not a blessing or a sign, but it's right there. That actually goes with the theme there really well too. Sorry, I've stopped it so many times at this point, but this idea, a lot of times in classical training, we're told we should bridge our voices together. And there's this idea that you don't want somebody to know that you changed registers. Like, how? Such a terrible thing. That person changed vocal registers. I don't know why along the way we decided that that was a bad thing. But we definitely did decide that. because classical training for hundreds of years was often about bridging registers. I think that it is important to be able to use your chest voice or your head voice, whatever you want to call your registers, mode 1, mode 2. I think it's important to be able to cross pitches so you can sing high notes in your chest voice, low notes in your head voice, et cetera, et cetera. I think it's important to have that crossover and be able to make choices so that the pitch isn't what's choosing the register. But I don't know that you should necessarily disguise that you're in one register or another. That can perhaps create a beauty in certain types of sounds. You can do it if that's what you like. But I think it can be really beautiful to just hear a person's natural sound and how it can be used in different ways. I do appreciate, I feel that there's an embracing that she has accomplished um, with her registers. She loves them all.
But it's our forests hide among the trees. Our days are shadowed by the night. Our thoughts evolving into things, emerging truth among the lies. Watch me break the cycle of a broken home.
That was such a beautiful harmony added in that section. So delicate, but felt like it was weaving all kinds of different colors of light into the sound. Had really clear melody that we could follow, but yeah, it just added this cushion. I really liked that.
Our forests hide among the trees. Our days are shadowed by the night. Our thoughts evolving into things, emerging truth among the lies. Watch me break the cycle of a broken home. There's no grudge or burden left. I let them go.
That was super pretty. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay, I stopped it too soon. Let's catch this.
Let go.
That was extra pretty. Not just because it was a beautiful, light, fluffy head voice. Some people would even call that falsetto, depending on where you're coming from once more. The point here is lots of CT engagement, higher pitch, delicate sound. And I liked the way, especially she ended it on go. And I've heard her do this in other things as well, where she'll take a vowel and make so much more of the vowel than it originally is. So go here actually has so much more coloring and shaping than just a normal O vowel would. Go. She's even having that like little shiver of vibrato at the end. It sounds like not only is it shaped here, but she's shaping it really in the pharyngeal space as well. So it sounds like it's pulled forward at first and then it comes back a lot in the resonance. Maybe we're getting more spaciousness in the pharynx as it goes through, and we're getting involved in just this one. Well, it's actually a diphthong. O is a diphthong, but we're getting more than two vowel sounds. We're getting plenty.
Let go.
Yeah, super pretty. I was going to mention before that I was enjoying, I like the way that this feels like it defies genre at times. There are moments where you feel like there's a folk element. Definitely, she has some really cool runs that aren't necessarily pop runs, but they're not necessarily like, I want to say some sort of ethnic runs. she's trained in so many different styles. In case you didn't know, she's not only does she have a vocal performance degree, but she's also, I don't know if she has the pedagogy degree yet, but I know she's doing additional studies and will get a degree in pedagogy, vocal pedagogy as well. This is partly why she's so interesting to watch, because she understands not only how to do these things herself, but she also understands then from a scientific perspective how these things can be created. It's a really well-founded knowledge and voice. I'm going to go back a little bit one more time to catch this beautiful moment, and we'll let it keep going then.
Let go.
Such good use of vibrato.
Dark crept out to live in me. A wide awake, recurring dream. When it takes hold, I feel a tight yet familiar grip. Not a blessing or a sign, but it's all mine.
So beautiful. It's such a great message about mental health here. I'm just going to go back a tiny bit and mention one thing. I think she has similarities in her voice to Stevie Nicks as well. What great people to be compared to, right? Stevie Nicks has such an authentic sound in her lower voice and her belt, and also has a very fast vibrato. I hear similarities in just sort of the depth of her tone and the focus of it, combined with that fast vibrato, and then some of the styling too. I'm curious, actually. I haven't ever asked her if Stevie Nicks was a particular inspiration, but I hear bits of it in her.
Recurring dream. When it takes hold, I feel a tight yet familiar.
Right here. That's where I get a little more Stevie in the sound.
Not a blessing or a sign, but it's all mine.
I love the release in that top note.
There's no where or when or how, I don't know why. Such a weekend weary, so credentialized. Since this black hole in me swallowed all my pride, I don't have much left, but now it's all mine.
I think it's fascinating to hear how high she brings that lower register here. This is such a great example of her being able to pick essentially what timbre she wants on a pitch instead of letting the register determine that for her. And she's taking up a lower register, singing it on a higher pitch. We'll often refer to that as belting in this section. And she goes up really high. She goes up really high. It almost feels like a mixed belt in some of these parts.
Such a weekend.
Go back a little bit more.
There's no where or
There.
when or
And to get that sound, you have to really bring the focus super far forward and be able to also have a certain thinness still in the chords while remaining in that lower register. There's a lot of things that are really complicated about this. It's really hard, by the way, for opera singers who have trained to have a lot more thickness in their vocal folds. It's really hard for opera singers to learn how to do this specific thing. We're trained to bring our head voice down really low. So I can go much lower in my head voice than many contemporary singers. But bringing my chest voice up is more difficult. And so it's funny, wherever you're coming from, whatever your training is, there's always going to be a challenge of how can I make myself more pliable in this direction or in this direction? How can I shift this timbre? How can I choose to expose it or to blend it in some way? I think it's fascinating, though, to hear how much crossover Lolli has in her voice.
There's nowhere or when or how, I don't know why. Such a wicked weird, so could actualize. Since this black hole in me swallowed all my pride, I don't have much left, but now it's gone.
I love that pause before the last line. It's so tender. I love the way that Lolli leaves us with a question here, right? It doesn't resolve. The music leaves it open to interpretation of where we're going to go next. And that's really exciting. I think it's always about learning and growing into the person that we're meant to be on any given day. I think that Lolli has just done an incredible job, not only with the song, but also in sharing her person with all of us on YouTube. So thank you so much, Lolli. Merry Christmas. And Merry Christmas to all of you. Thank you for celebrating a fellow vocal nerd with me today. If you want to see some more analysis of people that I just think are personally really incredible people, check out this playlist over here. And may you fall more in love with music every day.